You are likely watching this on a screen made in China, wearing clothes made in China, and using technology assembled in China. Now, rewind 1,000 years. China wasn't merely manufacturing for everyone else. They were inventing the very things that would eventually construct the modern world. Then, they simply stopped. Not completely, but enough for Europe to catch up and race past them. This is the story of Chinese inventions that should have transformed everything, but failed to do so. At least, not for the people who created them. The seismoscope, 132 AD. Let's begin with something that seems impossible. In 132 AD, a Chinese inventor named Zhang Heng built a machine capable of detecting earthquakes from hundreds of miles away. It couldn't predict them, but it could detect them as they were happening, far from the capital. This device was called a seismoscope, and it resembled a giant bronze pot with dragon heads protruding from the top. Each dragon held a bronze ball in its mouth, and below each dragon sat a bronze toad with its mouth wide open. Here is how it functioned. When an earthquake struck in the distance, the seismic waves would travel through the earth and eventually reach Zhang Heng's machine. Inside the pot, a pendulum would swing in the direction from which the earthquake waves originated. That swing would trigger an internal mechanism, causing one of the dragons to drop its ball into the toad's mouth below. The sound would alert the populace, and the specific dragon that dropped its ball would indicate the direction to send aid. In 138 AD, one of the dragons dropped its ball, yet no one in the capital felt a tremor. People initially suspected the machine was broken. Days later, a messenger arrived with news of a massive earthquake 400 miles away, located in the exact direction the dragon had indicated. In the year 138, while much of the world was still perfecting basic agriculture, China possessed a working earthquake detection system. They would not see another one like it for over 1,700 years. Yet the seismoscope was far from being their most vital invention. The printing revolution, around 200 AD, China invented paper. This was real paper, not papyrus or parchment, but actual paper made from plant fibers. Before this invention, people wrote on strips of bamboo or expensive silk. Books were so heavy that moving a single text could require a cart. Paper revolutionized everything overnight. It was lightweight, inexpensive, and simple to manufacture. Knowledge ceased to be a luxury only the wealthy could afford. Then, in 868 AD, they advanced the process further by creating the Diamond Sutra, the oldest known printed book in existence. It was not transcribed by hand, but printed using carved wooden blocks. Each page was carved into a wood block, inked, and pressed onto paper. This allowed for the creation of hundreds of copies of the same page without it ever being written out manually. But even this was not the final step. In 1040 AD, a man named Bi Sheng invented movable type printing, something that would ultimately reshape human civilization. Instead of carving entire pages into blocks, Bi Sheng created individual characters out of clay. Each character was a separate piece that could be arranged into sentences, used to print a page, and then rearranged to form entirely different text. It was a printing press in operation 400 years before Johannes Gutenberg was even born. China had movable type printing in 1040. Gutenberg created his printing press in 1440. The Great Disparity. This invention should have triggered an information revolution, spreading literacy and accelerating advancements in science, philosophy, and technology at lightning speed. For a period, it did. Chinese literature flourished, encyclopedias were printed, and government exams became more common. However, the technology did not spread as it did in Europe. When Gutenberg's printing press arrived in Europe in the 1450s, it exploded. Within 50 years, printing presses were established in every major city, and millions of books were printed. This invention drove the Renaissance, facilitated the Reformation, and launched science forward. In China, printing remained largely controlled by the government and elite scholars. It failed to spark the same explosion of ideas. This pattern, the slow diffusion of world-changing technology, appears repeatedly. Gunpowder and the compass. Sometime in the 9th century, Chinese alchemists, while attempting to create an elixir of immortality, mixed sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter, heated it up, and achieved the exact opposite, an explosion or gunpowder. By the 10th century, China was utilizing it in warfare, developing fire arrows, bombs, and flamethrowers. By the 13th century, they had actual guns, cannons, multi-stage rockets, grenades, and mines, which were used to defend against Mongol invasions. Then, Europe acquired it. By the 1300s, gunpowder had traveled along trade routes to Europe. European powers embraced and improved upon it, fundamentally changing warfare and rendering castles and knights obsolete. European powers ultimately used superior firearms to conquer the world and colonize the Americas, Africa, and Asia. China invented gunpowder, but Europe weaponized it in ways that reshaped the entire planet. Then there is the compass. Around the 11th century, Chinese inventors realized that if a piece of magnetized iron were allowed to float or spin freely, it would consistently point north. The compass made long-distance sea travel truly feasible. The Chinese utilized it to navigate their trade routes. They built massive treasure fleets that sailed as far as Africa. Admiral Zheng He commanded ships over 400 feet long in the early 1400s. Columbus did not sail to the Americas until 1492, and his ships were tiny by comparison. China had the compass, the ships, and the navigational expertise. They possessed the means to explore and colonize the entire world if they had chosen to. But they did not. The core question: why did innovation stop? Why did China invent all of this world-changing technology and then fail to use it to dominate the world? Why did they not have their own industrial revolution? They had printing, gunpowder, and the compass before Europe. They also had advanced mathematics, engineering, a huge population, and resources. Yet, by the 1800s, European powers were carving up China and forcing them into unequal trade deals. The country that invented gunpowder was being defeated by countries using guns. The factors that led to this decline are multifaceted. 1. The stoppage of exploration. Zheng He's voyages, 1405 to 1433, are a perfect illustration. After establishing trade with over 30 countries, with the world's most advanced fleet, the Chinese emperor decided to end the voyages entirely in 1433. The ships were destroyed, and the records were burned. China turned inward, focusing on border defense. This occurred because Confucian scholars advised the emperor that the voyages were a waste of money, believing China was already the center of civilization and had nothing to gain from foreign trade. 2. The imperial examination system. For over 1,000 years, the path to success was passing government exams based on Confucian classics, poetry, and calligraphy. While this created a merit-based government, the exams did not test science, math, or engineering. The smartest people in China became bureaucrats by studying ancient texts rather than becoming inventors or entrepreneurs. They looked down upon merchants and inventors as a lower class. 3. Economic control. The Chinese government heavily controlled many industries with state-run factories and trade. If you invented something new, the government might appropriate it without compensation, meaning there was no incentive to innovate or take risks. In contrast, Europe had greater economic freedom, allowing inventors to patent and profit from their creations. 4. Cultural resistance to change. Confucian philosophy emphasized harmony, respect for tradition, and maintaining social order. Change was often seen as suspicious, and the goal was to preserve the wisdom of the past. This created a highly stable society that was resistant to change, leading Chinese scholars in the 1500s and 1600s to dismiss new European technology as unnecessary. 5. Bad timing. The period when Europe began industrializing, 1700 to 1850, coincided with one of China's weakest periods. The Qing dynasty was plagued by internal rebellions, population pressure, and corruption. By the late 1800s, when China finally attempted to modernize, Europe had established global trade networks, industrial manufacturing, and advanced weapons, pulling impossibly far ahead. If China had industrialized when they had the opportunity, if they had advanced all those inventions instead of turning inward, the world would be unrecognizable. We might have witnessed the scientific revolution centuries earlier, but whether this would have avoided the darker parts of European colonialism remains a question we can never answer.
All those inventions instead of